Pete jumped on his bike and scanned the centre of the village as he rode away. There were 2 people getting into a car on the other side of the green, and a man walking his dog, but it seemed quieter than usual. Pete began to ride around the village delivering newspapers, and noticed that a lot of curtains were closed, and there were fewer people in the streets heading to work. He had the feeling that something wasn't quite right about Crooked Oak. Something felt different. Now imagine coming home from school one day to find that there's something different about your mum and dad. You can't quite put your finger on it, but they seem distant. When they smile, there's no hint of it in their eyes. They don't like sunlight. They go out of the house at strange times of the night. And there's something else too. The smell. What is that smell? So my name is Dan Smith, and I'm the author of several exciting adventure stories for younger readers. My latest book, to be published in 2020 by the brilliant Barrington Stoke, is called The Invasion of Crooked Oak. It's all about what happens when 3 school friends decide to investigate the bizarre events happening in their town, Crooked Oak. Pete, Nancy and Krish begin to think that something isn't quite right about the inhabitants of Crooked Oak, and it all appears to have something to do with the drilling at Carpenter's Field. And the more they investigate, the more they find their lives in danger. So like the 3 characters in my book, I've always been fascinated with the strange and the unusual. Ever since I was very young, I loved to read about ghosts, UFOs, monsters, strange creatures, and the many, many mysterious things that happen in our world. And sometimes there are just enough facts to suggest that some of those things might be true. So if your neighbour smiles and says, "Good morning," but there's a blank look in their eyes, or you hear them coming and going at strange times in the night, just remember that it might not be your imagination playing tricks on you. There really might be something going on, just like there is in Crooked Oak. Nancy, Krish and Pete rode away as fast as they could, but at the corner at the end of the street, Nancy screeched to a halt. "See," she said, "there's something wrong with them. I told you." "We believe you," Pete replied and looked at Krish. "Don't we?" "Did you see her eyes?" Krish said. "What was wrong with her eyes?"